Tonight, we're getting a look at new video of the 12-year-old girl who was found dead in her home in Enfield in March. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden. Body camera video from a week before Eve Rogers' death shows her steal a drink at a nearby convenience store. It then shows the interaction police had with her mother. Fox 61's Kayla Cade is in studio to break down what happened that night.
In the police report we received about 2 weeks ago on the shoplifting incident, the names and addresses were redacted. But in the body cam footage, the officer can be heard saying the young girl's name is Eve Rogers. The officer also says and types her address, 176 Elm Street, which, as you can see behind me, is less than 1 mile away from the mobile gas station where police say the shoplifting happened.
It's going to be a 12-year-old, so I'm going to give her a courtesy ride back home and talk to mom and dad if you just want to go to 100 Elm.
It was just after 2:30 in the morning on March 11th when you can hear an Enfield officer talking on his phone about 12-year-old Eve Rogers.
And get some information and I'll give you an short aid.
He found her on M Street, about a 13-minute walk from her home on 176 Elm Street.
Yeah. You said you're lost?
You can see him type in her address and help her into the back of his police car to take her home. Enfield police sent us the video with the girl's face blurred and her voice muted due to her age. But you can see her holding a pink Monster energy drink in her hand. Police say that's the drink she took from the mobile gas station.
I got to talk to the parents because there's more to it. So I don't think she has no intent type of thing. She's very sweet. Like when I saw her, she came running up to me and said, "You're talking to me because I took this, right?" I'm like, kinda.
The gas station also provided video footage of the incident. You can see her run out of the store. According to police, they decided to not press charges.
The other officer just paid for the drink, and the store is like understanding for once. So they're just gonna. So this still has to be documented on a case and everything.
The officer took Rogers back to her home. He then spoke with her mother about concerns his boss had about the incident.
They're more concerned about the parenting, like the parent aspect of it, if there's a cognitive impairment type of thing and she's getting out of the house.
Her mother said she has never done anything like this before.
This is the most unexpected thing ever for her because she's usually like a strict rule follower kind of autistic.
We did reach out to Enfield police for an interview, but the chief said he was unable to speak on the case at this time. Rogers' stepfather has been charged with sexual assault and risk of injury to a child, but has not been charged with murder. He is being held on a $1 million bond. In studio, Kayla Cade, Fox 61.
All right, Kayla, thank you. We have a breaking news update tonight. A Branford man has pleaded guilty to killing his 12-year-old son with a baseball bat. 53-year-old Anthony Esposito Jr. pleaded guilty to murder and attempted murder in the May of 2025 case. Police say he killed his son inside their Hemlock Road home and also attempted to kill his 16-year-old daughter, who was able to escape. Esposito is scheduled to be sentenced on July 6th. The human remains found in Chaplin last week have been identified as a woman who was reported missing last fall. The medical examiner's office says the remains are those of Anne Marie Pappalardo from Mansfield. They were discovered Friday near Bedlam and North Bedlam roads. Pappalardo was first reported missing in October. It's still not clear how she died, and the investigation is ongoing.
All right, we had a beautiful day, lots of sunshine, temperatures up near 70 degrees. And let's say, for example, life got in the way and you didn't have a chance to get outside and enjoy. That's okay, because we get a repeat performance tomorrow. Again, highs in the 60s to near 70 degrees and lots of sunshine. We'll see more clouds on Wednesday, but we're dry during the day. And then we see rain return heading into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. And we could get a nice little soaking of rain with about a ½ inch to an inch of rain possible. Along with it, we're also looking at a pattern change. Highs will only be in the 50s on Thursday, and those 50s are going to carry us right through this upcoming weekend. So if you like those warmer temperatures, enjoy the next couple of days while they last. Temperatures tonight are in the upper 40s and low 50s. We'll see overnight lows that are very similar to what you woke up to this morning in the upper 30s to low 40s. By lunchtime, temperatures are near 60, and we will see more late day clouds than we had outside today. Today there was barely a cloud in the sky. Tomorrow we'll see a few more, but overall it's still really pleasant. We'll talk more about the timing of that rain and the changes for later this week coming up. Brent.
A family in Windsor is now looking for a new place to live after a fire heavily damaged their home this afternoon. As Fox 61's Jamel Johnson reports, it took a significant response to bring the fire under control.
The fire happened at this home on Pleasant Street. Windsor Fire Chief Steve Bianchi said his crews and neighboring stations were able to knock out the fire quickly, but not before it tore through most of the home.
It's a really big mutual aid effort because of the heavy fire load inside the building. When the first apparatus got here, they were met, pushed back out. First search went in, couldn't get in and make entry because of the fire load. So when we started bringing in mutual aid.
At least 2 people lived inside the home. Both were able to escape the house before the fire got out of control. Keegan Decker, a homeschool teenager who lives across the street, knew of at least one person who lived there.
We know the lady that lives across the street here. Sorry to her. She's really nice. It didn't take long for them to get here. I know Windsor was the first one here. Yeah, we used to dog sit for her, so we know her pretty well.
Keegan was home when the fire started.
So I was doing school here, obviously at the table, and we heard bangs. I thought it was gunshots coming from the graveyard over here because they do memorial services with rifles and stuff a lot. That was about like an hour before everything happened, and I guess someone must have called. I didn't see anyone calling, but I walked outside and there was smoke coming out of the house. And
the fire marshal's office is now investigating the cause. Bianchi said there was heavy fire coming from the back of the house, but it's too early to tell if that's where it started.
Heavy fire load at the stairwell, so the house is going to need a little work. It'll be deemed uninhabitable.
Now, the Red Cross was also here to help the homeowners in Windsor. Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
New Haven Mayor Justin Elliker will hold a press conference tomorrow to announce the city's legal response to a federal lawsuit. The mayor is expected to introduce the legal team that will defend the city over its Welcoming City executive order. Now, the lawsuit filed by the U.S. Department of Justice seeks to block and overturn the order. City officials say they plan to fight the case and maintain the policy complies with all laws while supporting immigrant residents. The police are searching for this man who is accused of assaulting someone at a Stop & Shop in Groton. Investigators say it happened on November 16th at the store on Route 12 and stemmed from a road rage incident. Police say the suspect was driving a silver Chevy Malibu. Anyone with information on what happened there is asked to contact Groton police. And a man who trafficked fentanyl and cocaine into Waterbury is headed to federal prison. 30-year-old Jordan Jameson was sentenced in Hartford to 12 years behind bars, plus 5 years of supervised release and a $350,000 fine. Investigators say he brought large amounts of drugs into the area and used locations in Naugatuck and Waterbury to store and distribute them. Jameson has been in custody since 2025 and pleaded guilty earlier this year. A former Stu Leonard's employee is suing the company, claiming a coworker stole her personal information, broke into her home, and stole her underwear. The lawsuit argues the company failed to protect employees or recognize warning signs. Court documents say the two worked together at the Newington location, but have not worked there since 2018. The woman says she is now dealing with lasting emotional trauma and is holding the company accountable for what she says should never have happened. Well, the man accused of opening fire during Saturday's White House Correspondents' Dinner appeared in federal court this afternoon. He spoke briefly as he learned the latest charge against him. Rebecca Castor has more from outside the federal courthouse in Washington.
The alleged gunman had his first appearance here in federal court today. He did not enter a plea, but he's facing at least one new and very serious charge. The 31-year-old accused gunman Cole Allen is now officially charged with trying to assassinate President Trump after he blew past Secret Service agents at a security checkpoint at the White House Correspondents' Dinner Saturday night. He's also 2 other gun-related charges.
In order to be able to upgrade this to trying to assassinate the president, they had to develop evidence that he was specifically targeting President Trump.
Federal officials are still building a case against him, but say they've gathered a lot of evidence in the last 48 hours.
These are the weapons that the defendant had on his person. Any suggestion that he wasn't there to do harm is absurd.
President Trump is standing by the Secret Service, but White House officials are meeting this week to discuss ways to better protect the president at events moving forward.
The American people should be assured there's no higher priority for the president and his staff than the president's safety. As far as Saturday night is concerned, the president was satisfied with the response.
This is the third assassination attempt on President Trump in 2 years, and Secret Service remains unfunded more than 70 days into the DHS shutdown.
This is a national emergency, and every member of Congress needs to put their country over party and get the Department of Homeland Security funded.
The Democrats have been saying we want to fund DHS. We just don't want to fund ICE agents.
That was Rebecca Castor reporting. Now, we're also learning more about how this investigation spread across the country into New London. Earlier today, the DOJ and FBI held a press conference to share new details. During that briefing, FBI Director Kash Patel said evidence was collected in California and Connecticut and sent to labs for analysis, but he did not specify what was recovered. There are reports the suspect's brother may have called New London police, but the police chief has not confirmed that. The chief did say they received a call around 10:50 p.m. on Saturday from someone concerned about the incident earlier that night. Police say they then notified their federal law enforcement partners. New London police say their investigation is no longer active. And President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump are calling for comedian Jimmy Kimmel to be fired following a joke made prior to the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. During a sketch that aired 2 days before the event, Kimmel portrayed a comedian at the dinner, saying the First Lady had a, quote, glow like an expectant widow. Now, the president called the joke corrosive and said it deepens the political sickness within America. Representatives for Kimmel and ABC have not commented.